Hey guys, I'm back. I have a new laptop. I have a new microphone, but I guess I'm not sure if this one is working or if the one in laptop is because it didn't pick it up. So I have probably 30 minutes to do the live stream. Oh, I see some of you already showed up. That's awesome. Give some salams in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Just gonna close a few things here. And we can get rolling. So yeah, I haven't done live stream in like 2 weeks. Let me know if you can first of all hear me, because I know I have some problems with the microphone. Salam alaikum Adel O. So please confirm if you can hear me. That would be great. Other than that, let's do it. So I had a pretty interesting couple of weeks, to be honest, couple of days, really life-changing. I guess you might have seen the video from Istanbul. But yeah, I just returned this week on Tuesday. No, it was Monday evening when I flew back. So I was kind of catching up on a lot of work, and I wasn't really able to, put some thought into my YouTube kind of efforts because I was reevaluating my life priorities, Anyways, yes, we can see you loud and clear. Okay, perfect. And so yeah, so I'm just I'm happy to be back, to be focused on work. There's a ton of work I'm catching up on, because you can imagine if running a company, you leave, kind of the company stops if everything depends on you. But that's kind of what it is. So I'm glad to be back, but also I'm missing a few things from Turkey. So I guess I want to just talk about my first impressions and stuff, because it was my first visit in a Muslim country. I was in Turkey before, in Istanbul 10 years ago, but not as a Muslim, so I didn't care about Islam, but now it's different. So let me see if some of you are saying something, and yeah, hopefully we can talk. A lot of things have changed. I'm thinking of like, how am I going to organize my life as a Muslim living in the Czech Republic, potentially living in Slovakia. And yeah, I'm just not sure how to go about this, if I should move to a Muslim country, but I don't really like moving somewhere where I don't really belong as a culture, just because of the faith, or should I stay here and establish the deen, all these things. If you're a non-Muslim watching, hey, that's good as well. So let's see if Salam alaikum, Mo. How's the journey there? Journey is good. Did you like the people? Yeah, I love the people. There were few people who were annoying, like the salespeople in Turkey are very annoying, and they always say the same thing, like, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Slovakia." "I love Slovakia," and then they want to sell you something. So it's just kind of the annoying salespeople, but those are only in the old parts of Istanbul. Regular people are very helpful. A lot of people in kind of the normal city actually helped me and my wife. A lot of times we got lost, for example, and there are these buses in Istanbul where you just kind of call them, they stop and they take you somewhere, and you don't know the destination. You just kind of tell them where to drop you off, which I've never seen in my life. And so that was really useful to figure out. And there was this older Muslim woman who kind of helped us in that. So it was really cool. Like, normal people are great. But these people who kind of latch onto the tourists, those are kind of like the crazy ones. But yeah, I love Turkish people. The only thing that was really bothering me in Istanbul, or in the overall kind of the overall trash and the situation with trash. Like, there's not many trash cans around the city, so this creates a problem where people throw things on the ground, and I really hate that. And then we were even in a national park, so a national park, like a forest, and it was fully covered in trash, and people were just picnicking there. And so this I really didn't get, like, why are they doing that? But I guess it's something you can find in any kind of country, but this was really something that I was picking up on. And no kind of separation between plastic, paper, and different types of trash, just one big trash opened where you can put like rats and mouse and stuff. Like, this is not healthy. So this was kind of the only thing that I've noticed. the trash situation is very bad. Other than that, it's all good. It's even more developed than Czech Republic in some sense, or Slovakia. The neighborhoods, especially in the modern part of Istanbul, were really awesome. Much more educated, not educated, much more developed. Jesus is Lord. All right. Thanks for being here. All right, dude. Thanks, Jesus is King. If that's all you're gonna say, then I guess I'm gonna throw you out. Salam alaikum, Ahmed. All right, guys. We're not here to talk about Jesus or Muhammad or nothing. Let's just have a talk, okay? And so yeah, it was really cool, and yeah, I'm very happy I was there, especially just dealing with going to the mosques. Complete game changer for me. On every corner there's a mosque. You can obviously pray. It's very convenient for you. Then learning about Hagia Sophia, watching actually Jesus who was painted there because it was a church. And just overall atmosphere was really great. So I'm just thinking, like, what am I gonna do next? I want to go to Malaysia, probably check it out. But in the next couple of days, I'm buying a land in Slovakia for my future house, maybe. So I'm just thinking through a lot of options, because Islam is really not just religion; it's a way of life, and it's in every part of my life. So I've been on the deen now, alhamdulillah. What is it? So I became a Muslim in like first day of March. What is today? 10th of July. So I've been 4 months or something like an official Muslim. And before that, I was practicing a few months before that. So it's been, let's say, 6 months in this sort of lifestyle. And a lot of things have changed for me. Like I'm a different person, still the same person. So I'm the same person. I have the same type of personality. I still remember my old friends, and everything is the same. But I also have a different view on life in almost every situation. Everything basically has changed. From my perspective on life, on the society, has changed, and it directly contradicts some of the things we live in the West. And so yeah, so that's kind of strange, That's kind of strange. But that's what it is. That's what it is. So I'm just praying every day that I'm kind of on the right path. I'm keeping straight path, but it's difficult. It's difficult, but it's good. It's much better than what I used to be before. So also what I loved about Turkey, the food. Everything's halal, super convenient. Here I have nothing halal, so I have to find the halal place. It's more difficult. Also, yeah, so just being proud. Like when I saw La ilaha illallah on Hagia Sophia, like blasting out on the entire Istanbul, that was so crazy. Like these people, like they can proclaim they're Muslim this much. What? Here I have to kind of hide. I don't tell anyone. It's kind of secrecy because there are repercussions. So if I say this, I'll lose maybe a client, maybe I'll lose friends, maybe so there's things I have to be careful of. Of course, I have this YouTube channel. I openly talk about these things. I don't know why I actually do this, because many people don't do this kind of publicly. And I wasn't really sure if I want to actually proclaim this. Like a few months ago when I started to make videos, I made them I didn't talk about Islam. I talked about like God and stuff, and I wasn't really talking specifically about this. But then it just kind of was like, well, what am I hiding? Like people already kind of think that this guy might be a Muslim. So I went and talked about these things. And now every piece of content you can find on my channel is about Islam. So yeah, it's pretty crazy what happened, what kind of change happened in my content as well. But yeah, so I was thinking I will enjoy maybe the vlogging and stuff like that also, but I don't really kind of enjoy that because it's a terrible job to edit that footage. So I don't think I want to be like a travel vlogger discovering Muslim countries, which I thought I might have kind of enjoyed. I like, I like to film stuff on camera, but it's not really my natural kind of thing. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing. What else? Yeah, So it's been really great, especially La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah, like blasted on Hagia Sophia, people praying. Of course, there's people in Turkey who hate Islam and they are Turkish, and they tell you like you shouldn't even do this. So you have both groups. It's a secular country, but you can practice and you don't have to feel ashamed, because here it kind of reminds people of some cult or something like that. So yeah, different world. What is this? I am not sure what it means. I'm sorry, Aaron. I prefer southern Turkey than Istanbul. Yeah, I mean, Istanbul is mostly because it's a city with so much history and flights and everything. So we went there because of that. Of course, I wouldn't like to probably live in Istanbul for sure. Southern Turkey is great, especially for vacation, like Izmir and Antalya. What is it? There's many places, but it's pretty cool. 4 months, mashallah. Yeah, you learned a lot in such a short period. Yeah, I wanted to read more. I have a book, Muhammad and His Life, that I've shown you in the previous live streams that I still haven't finished. So that's the thing I'm focusing on right now. So looking at the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him. That's something I'm including, and then the Venture of Islam I want to read. But right now I'm in a crazy period where there's a ton of work I'm doing. So we have a ton of new, like my company is growing at a crazy rate. So I don't know what to do. I'll make a video about how I made the dua to Allah and how He gave me so much opportunity in my company that I literally, like, I'm not gonna lie, on average as a businessman, let's say you meet with a few people a month and you try to create a business relationship and maybe close a deal and build a contract. But I was able to meet with maybe 25 people in the span of maybe like 2 weeks, which is insane. You can ask any entrepreneur, this is too much. This is a lot of people. People who have other businesses who I can work with. And majority of them we're in the process of signing contracts with. So this is gonna create a ton of opportunity for my company, but also a ton of work because I have to streamline the processes and hire a bunch of people. So again, I have my YouTube, I have this, and then I have another company where I'm fully dedicated, expanding the company, implementing Salesforce CRM. So this is taking so much time. And I was on a vacation. I was in Turkey during this expansion. So I was meeting up with people, it's pretty crazy. Like every day, like 7 meetings. It's just taking a headspace because you need to be energetic and present in those meetings. So yeah, I've been blessed because I was praying like, hey, please allow me to do something. And the dua was answered because of something I've also done. So I want to break it down in a separate video, like why this happened. And it was very quick. And a lot of my duas actually came true, almost all of them. But I don't just rely on the dua, I do the action. But if you combine it with with Allah, if it's aligned, then it's going to work. And it's really amazing. So I'm being blessed with that business thing, but I'm also very busy there. Then I'm going to Slovakia for 2 weeks, checking out the place where I'm gonna get married for like a big wedding stuff. And I'm buying this land for a house. So we're meeting a few people who are showing me the land, and we're figuring out where to buy it. So that's also like a big life decision I'm doing right there. So my plan is kind of like have a house in like a special place in my country, Slovakia, go back home. Figure out a way how I can set up a Dawah center, like a very small type of deal in that city, because it's not the main city and most Muslims are in the capital, Bratislava. And it's still not many, it's just a few thousand. But we have a very good kind of online presence. So I would just travel there for a few days, maybe a month. And yeah, that's where I would do Dawah and stuff, because you have to be in that capital city. That is where people with power decide on these things. And definitely we need 50,000 signatures to establish Islam as a true religion in Slovakia. So that will be my focus. I mean, I don't know if that's my purpose, but I think I can definitely help because I don't know many Muslims who are in my position from my country, like local ones who converted. There's few people I know. So I think that is something I can do, and then translate and also do Dawah in the local language and just give it to the people there. and this is something I can do. But I really, what I hate is our capital city. So I really hate Bratislava, the way it looks. It's a very modern type of city. I lived there for 2 years. I don't enjoy living there. We lived there with my wife like 5 years ago. It was horrible atmosphere, just people, just rushing and being crazy. Like Prague is completely different. There's many parks, people are chilled. There's so many things you can do here. The city is amazing. Of course, it's full of people who do haram stuff, but you can find many things in Prague and enjoy your life pretty much. It's beautiful. But Bratislava is kind of the opposite of Prague, and it's not really that awesome to live in, even though it's okay. I mean, it's fine. But I live there and I don't really like the city. So I don't want to live there, but it is the capital of my country, and that's where I have to change things. So yeah, subhanallah, that's kind of what I'm gonna be focused on. But maybe my purpose is to do hijrah and just move to Malaysia or like Turkey. But here's why I don't think this would be great for me. Like, look at the early Sahabas, like what they were doing. They were actually traveling outside of, like, there were 10,000. Everybody was traveling outside and converting, like really spreading the deen of Allah through worship, through like showing people through Dawah. And they weren't really like, if everybody was like stuck in Mecca or Medina, then nothing would happen. Islam would just be there and nothing would happen. But they went to totally new places and established it there. And so if I do the opposite, let's say I move back to a Muslim country, somewhere in a Muslim country like Turkey, and I stay there, like I don't speak the language, I don't like the culture, maybe not my history, we actually fought Ottomans, like I don't, it would be like contradiction in my head. So many problems. I can practice my faith. So practicing Islam is easier. That's great. But everything else is much more difficult. And so what's the point of that? That's just good for me. But what about the rest of society? Doesn't it make more sense that, yes, I establish some basic practice of Islam in my country where I don't have to feel ashamed, or there's some halal shop or just basic stuff, and then let's do dawah there? Doesn't it make more sense as a local there to do it there? Because if I go hide in a Muslim country, what was the purpose of my conversion? Why did I do it? Just to go back, like what? It doesn't make sense. Only, of course, if there would be like a big prohibition, let's say a war on Muslims, like Holocaust, then of course I would have to go somewhere where I'm safe. But that doesn't make sense for me right now. There's so many people who need help. Everybody has depression. Everybody has mental health problems. Everybody is struggling. People don't understand the concept of Islam at all here. So there's a giant opportunity here, like a giant one. And I'm not saying the whole country will become Muslim. It's never going to happen. I am 100% sure Europe will never become Muslim. It will always stay Christian. But there can be a big Muslim minority in those countries. So you can see it in France, 5%, maybe 10% in the UK in a few years. And this is because of immigration. But maybe 1-2% in Slovakia, that would be great. So that we can have places to worship, we can have a first mosque, we can have those things. Hey, and my purpose is done. Like that's all I want. That would be awesome. So people who are open to it, they can find the answer, because right now they can't, and that's the issue. Anyways, I'm kind of going off. So let me check the comments, because I was just talking too much. In 15 minutes, I have a podcast interview with Uma Times. They invited me as like a convert to talk about my experience. So it's like some YouTube channel from Canada. So I'll have to leave. But let me check these. Yes, Malaysia is amazing. Of course, some minor problems. Yeah. I checked out Malaysia has like a really high average salary, and it's really beautiful in terms of like islands and stuff, and it's really developed. Of course, it's very far away from me. I would never want to live there probably and raise my kids there and stuff. But I think what we want to do with my wife, we want to go for a few months to each of these countries, and just kind of where she can do whatever she wants. She's not a Muslim, so she can also, like here, she was with me all the time, supporting me. She covered her hair when we went to the mosque. She learned about Islam. She went with me to do wudu 5 times a day. She was with me every time. She was waiting in front of the mosque when I was going through the prayers. So she's supporting me on those things. But I also want her to enjoy that, because it's not just, I want her to have something to do as well besides just Islam all the time. So Malaysia seems amazing, and I think I want to go there, especially the COVID. We'll see. The most religious city is Konya. Yeah, I've heard about Konya. I would love to check it out. Just give me some. Salam alaikum in Arabic. Oh, thank you. Salam Adnan. Salam. Alhamdulillah Sakura. Salam alaikum. Mashallah. Great comments, guys. Mashallah. Congrats, brother. Mashallah, may Allah reward you, brother. Brother, translate if Dawah videos to your language. Yeah, I don't have time to translate that. I would probably hire someone to do that. But yeah, maybe that's a way to do it. But I just think it, like, you have to realize that has to be a local person. So like Slovak people will not watch an English guy talk about Islam. Like, this is not, it has to be like in your language, talking in you, to you, someone who looks like you. If Dawah is our British guys, that's not our culture. So again, I don't think that's gonna make, I don't think it might be good for some people who are already on the path of searching about it, but many people speak English and they don't have problems searching it up. Video speaking, yeah, but I'm not gonna do it now because it's just Dawah. I can't do Dawah right now. I'm just too busy with my life. Like a Dawah in a sense in my own country. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life as well. So once I have that, I'll try to do it. I'm doing this YouTube thing, and people from Slovakia, some of them watch it. So everybody in Slovakia pretty much speaks English from a younger generation. So I think that's not a problem, and they can pick up what I'm saying easily. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna make a video Dawah in Slovakia. I think it's gonna be one-to-one, like a real, like Sheikh Uthman from San Diego, that type of deal. But I'm not a sheikh. You see, there's a lot of problems. We need someone who has knowledge. Then I need someone who will give me money to build the first mosque. So Saudi king or someone, hey, give me money. You have too much mosques. Give me one. Like in Istanbul, there's 4,000 mosques, I think. Maybe 400. But I think either 400 or 4,000. I'm not sure. And I'm like, subhanAllah, we don't have even one. Give me one. Without minaret. Just, there will be no adhan because people wouldn't like it. But just one mosque. That would be great. So guys, please give us a mosque. Saudi, whoever has money, send us money. Let's build a mosque, guys. Why do you have 4,000? So I have to convince someone. If planned well, may Allah make it easy for you. Yeah, it's all good. Alhamdulillah. Hey, but one cultural difference between Istanbul and Prague that was most striking to you? I mean, these are cities you're comparing. I think both have beautiful parks. Both are very beautiful cities. Yeah. You can find modernity and you can find the old part of Istanbul, as well as in Prague, you can find modern city, Prague and old Prague. So in that sense, very good, but Prague is much smaller. We have like 2 million people, maybe. Istanbul is 15, much more people. Cultural difference, of course, big cultural difference. This is the biggest, driving and traffic. No one in Istanbul respects the traffic that much, in terms of just like, even the guys who go through, like the people who walk, they walk on a red light. We don't do, I mean, I do it sometimes when there's nothing on the road, but not if there's like tons of cars. Like, people will stop the cars who have green light and they will go on red light. I've never seen this. Or cars will just go on red sometimes. The craziest thing that happened, there was a guy on a bike, like a big, I don't know, maybe like Honda or something. And he was waiting with the people who walk. He was waiting with them and going through the walking strip with people, where people supposed to walk, not the thing. And there's also a lot of scooters. There's no pedestrian zones in Istanbul. So scooters just go wherever. So you're on the street sitting, eating, and there's a scooter next to you. Like, what? This is a pedestrian zone. If this happened in Europe, you would get a ticket, you would get police after you. Like, you can't do that stuff. So that was kind of like annoying to me sometimes. Like, nobody respects the rules here of traffic. Or parking, horrible parking. People park terribly. Here you park like there's zones you can park in Prague, and if you park outside of that zone, you'll be taken away like immediately. Like people will take a picture of you and the police will take away your car, and you'll be like, but in Istanbul, like people just park anywhere. So a lot of these differences, and trash, as I said. So it's not like a cultural, but it is a culture in the sense of driving. But yeah, that's something. I guess it gets much worse in places like India and stuff. Yeah, but in Europe, everything is just like rules, rules, rules. And some rules I love. Like I like to have organized rules. Organized traffic is great. Disorganized traffic, I don't like. So this is what I wouldn't like about Turkey, maybe. Anyways, with the trash thing, I don't really get it. Like I understand if you say as a Muslim, well, Czech people, or like if you move to Russia or somewhere, not Russia, if you go to Germany, people are really cold and closed off, and I don't like it, and people don't have family. Okay, that's great. We're talking about human nature now, so of course in Turkey, people there, I haven't seen a lot of homeless people in Istanbul at all, which is great. I only saw 2 women actually who had kids with them, and they were like asking for money because of the kid. I don't know. This was like a big fashion thing in Istanbul because there's a lot of these women. So maybe they use the kids, or maybe it's true. I don't know. But other than that, I haven't seen homeless people in Istanbul. That means people take care of their own in like a family, I assume. Here, a lot of people on streets. Like you can find a ton of homeless people in Prague everywhere. That's the difference as well. So that's they are doing better in that sense. So of course you can compare it however you want, yeah. But yeah, it's just every culture is different, But this is what I noticed. Like I would prefer the traffic rules being set. This is why Islam is great. Like if it was applied here, none of those things apply. So the traffic rules are not Islam, or the trash on the street, that's not Islam. That's Turkey. That's people in there. So you see, you can apply it however you want. Good stuff. You raise a lot of important points. Did you mention CRM? Are you a programmer? No, I have an agency with developers. So I personally don't know how to program. I did some JavaScript training and stuff, but it's not what I do. I'm a sales guy. Give the link, please. Salesforce, the biggest CRM in the world. Just Google it, Salesforce. It's the biggest one. Allah has made self-worth, however, so in the case with the hearts of the people, who made the messenger a native place because they have first right, I think. Yeah, I see. I agree with that. Traffic thing with Muslims is real. With Muslims. I don't think it's Muslims. I think, yeah, I mean, it could be, but I think there's Muslims in China who obey traffic rules. It's culture. I think there's Muslims in Saudi, maybe not in Saudi. What country is like obeying traffic rules that's Muslim? I have to find it. But I think there are countries who like have good traffic and they are Muslim. But yeah, I guess it has to do more with the culture, with, the closer you are to the equator, the sun, the more sun you are exposed to, it seems like people get lenient. Like the same thing you can observe in Italy, in Greece, in Spain. People don't like to follow traffic rules. So the southern you go on a planet, the less traffic rules you will obey. And Muslims live mostly around the equator. But if there's Muslims in Norway, I don't think they have a problem with traffic. I don't know. This is like a strange thing. Why do you think people don't obey traffic rules? Let me know. That would be great. One thing also, a big difference. We're very like closed off people. Not closed off, but we're trying to be sort of polite and talk in a certain way. But in Istanbul, everybody's kind of like shouting at each other in some way. Like somebody from this street is asking this guy something, and they're like, "Hey, what?" And the other guy is responding back. Again, not part of Islam, but a different culture. Like this would never. This happens here if you're drunk, but in a normal situation, people are like very, they don't touch each other. It's very like formal, and that's nature. Like that's my nature as well. I don't like to shout. I don't like to be loud on the street. So again, you see big differences. So that's what I talk about. Why would I move there if I don't feel like I belong there? Here in Dubai, traffic is better than Europe. Yeah, exactly. Dubai is a good example. Dubai is probably the place where people kind of follow the stuff. Interesting. Can you link the source of the article which you read? I'm not reading anything. What do you mean? I'm reading a book. Jan, isn't there any old church building that can be bought? And hey, I had this idea. Like, let me just buy a church. Like, there's so many. There's millions of churches around Slovakia and Czech Republic. No one's in them, but it's being owned by the church. So, like the church as a group. So, if I would buy a church as a like a thing and turned it into mosque, which actually happened in Hagia Sophia, right? Like just a small one. I don't think this would be good because there would be a ton of articles in the media like Muslims are taking our churches, turning them into mosques, and then thousands of people would come and just tear me apart. But I think it's a good idea actually. Like, why build a mosque if there's so many churches? Let's just turn around the church into mosque. It's simple. It wouldn't have the architecture of a sort of a mosque, but it could be turned away because we don't have these there's no minarets, plus there's no these things that you can find in mosques or in like Ottoman style things. It's more like a kind of European building type of deal. But yeah, I think that's a good idea, and I'm sure if I'm able to convince the Church of Slovakia to sell me one, then that's great. No, there's no. In Prague, there's Islamic Center, but it's owned by. There's like one person there. No, there's no Islam here. Like, just let me be clear. There's nothing here. Dubai is 99% foreigners. No, so I should correct myself. There is Islam here, of course, but the Islamic Center, no. Islamic Foundation is here. They print some materials. 3 mosques. That's it. That's it. I was born in Saudi. They don't respect traffic rules. You're gonna die there. Yeah. Same thing. It's close to equator. People have too much sun. They don't follow the rules. That's my theory. I don't know. What do you think? Dome. Yeah, exactly. We don't have domes. So it wouldn't have a dome. But I think it can be done. There's many churches. Like a small church. I don't need a big mosque. There's a small church where you can feed like 100 people. That's all. And for Juma, right? That's it. What else do you need? But you need a sheikh. You need someone who can recite the Quran. I don't know if I can find someone like that, but I think there's some people in Slovakia who can do that. That's good. Why don't move to another European country? I just said, like, this is not my culture. Like, Europe also has different cultures, and I don't really enjoy every. So it's not just like I'm talking now about Turkey, like a different culture. It's like every country. Like, I don't feel anything in common with Germans, for example, in the cultural sense. Even though the countries look similar, even Czechs and Slovaks have different view of the world. So it's not like Europe is one thing. It's like so random. It's just full of white people. Anyways, gotta go, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I have this Ummah Times podcast, so check me out there. Google them, and I'm gonna be there talking about my story. I don't know if it's gonna be interesting. Have you visited the Netherlands? I haven't. I've been in Belgium. Thank you, guys. Let's catch up next week. I'm in Prague this time, so I'm gonna be releasing some videos. Salam alaikum.